Hey guys, Crystal Grace here. Welcome back to another pick a card reading. So this one is all about how or why do you impress people. So we have 3 piles to choose from. I went on to Temu to get some extra charms, and I unfortunately ended up with some croc plugs, but that's okay. They're very cute and very sweet. So I have thrown them in my charms bowl with the numbers and the letters, so we will utilize them to tap into your energy or to help you connect with your pile. But to represent each pile, we have pile number 1. We have this random little, I don't know, teddy bear alien looking creature. Pile number 2, I think this is, correct me if I'm wrong, Captain America's shield. I could be totally wrong. And number 3, we have mushrooms. So magic mushrooms, I assume. So with that said, quick disclaimer while you're connecting with one of these croc plugs. If a message starts to trigger you in any way, please just opt out. I never set my intentions to ruin your day or trigger you or put you in a negative headspace. That's definitely not why I do this. And with that said, let's go. Let's jump into why or how do you impress people? Pile number 1, welcome to your reading. So those of you who chose this cute little bear toy alien looking critter. So the vibe I'm picking up from this, it kind of looks like there is a skull here in the third eye. So I don't know if some of you you work with magic here or telepathy as well. There is some kind of form of mind control. So I don't know if you guys can think of somebody and then they call you. It's like you can send out a signal and then maybe in a couple of days, couple of weeks, the person sends you a text, maybe a long-winded text, maybe they call you. Or you could just be sitting there thinking about one of your friends and, how lucky you are to have known these people or this person. And then next minute they send this very loving message. That sort of telepathy is what's coming through. Now I see a darkness to this teddy bear, whatever you want to call it. So I kind of feel like for a lot of you, you could work with dark magic. You could also be at a point in your life where you're just so fed up with the human race. You could have a lot of anger in your eyes as well at this time, but still look very sweet and pretty. But you could be going through some kind of dark night of the soul at this time because the eyes are black. But maybe some of you are in this headspace, you've got to fake it to make it. But you always look on point. Like I feel like a lot of you have picked this pile, you focus a lot on self-care and looking your best is how I feel with this, I don't know, teddy bear character, croc plug. This darkness that I am sensing, it could be the fact that some of you are having a cleanse of relationships here. Like maybe you're opting out of toxic relationships, whether or not it's releasing romantic suitors who never really show up for you, or maybe it's releasing friends or family members because they just never show up for you the same way. Either way, I feel like for this pile, a lot of you have endured a lot of darkness, people, maybe inflicting darkness on you as opposed to you inflicting darkness on others to provoke them to inflict it on you. I just feel like this, not that it's a bad thing, we are all wounded, we are all damaged goods in some way, shape or form, but I feel like there is a deep wound that a lot of you are trying to heal to move on who have picked this part. So I can tell you straight away, based off that, why people would be very impressed with you, and that's because you keep it moving. And I also feel like because you've got so much inner trauma, you don't look like you have inner trauma. I think you haven't allowed it to take away your beauty or impact the way you care for your outer body as well, is what I feel. You all look like you've got your shit together. So I feel like the main energy I'm picking up for this pile. Excuse me, I'm still getting over this like crazy influenza I caught weeks ago. Your main thing that like topic, whatever, why you impress people, pile one, is because when they learn your story and see where you are today or see where you're heading, that very much impresses them, because I feel like majority of people who go through similar things that you have gone through let themselves go, they just hide away from the world, they give up, where I feel like a lot of people are very impressed by your story, because if anything, it's probably made you stronger and work harder towards goals, and your happiness is sort of the vibe I'm picking up here. So it's nice. It's nice. So let's use this. I'm gonna have to get a bigger bowl. I can't even get my hand in here. We'll grab some initials and some numbers. So we have a J, an X. We've got a B, two B's. We have a G. We have a donut. And it has 27 on it. It also has another symbol there, and I'm sorry if it's not a symbol. It could be 27 in that language. I will have to get that out. What is this? So we have another mushroom coming out. So I would have to say I'm not a big advocate to guide my audience to go to other piles, but because pile 3 had a mushroom, I would say some of you, if you're called to go to pile 3, go to pile 3. I'll have to say the same in pile 3 to come back here. So we have 3 B's, 2 Z's, a W, 2 G's, lots of 2s here. Spasm is also coming through. So I don't know if some of you have got like a spasm in your back, like a nerve, a pinched nerve, somebody. SP, splash, so water is also coming through, so strong water elements. So we have number 8 twice, and we either have the letter W twice or a W and an M. So so then this guy is, we pronounce this as Fihu, but I believe it's pronounced look, I'm probably not the best person to sit here and start pronouncing words that I should practice, so that is on me, my bad. But the thing about this rune, it is correlated with wealth, prosperity, and financial abundance. So this gives me the impression that some of you could be heavily focused or fixated on financial abundance, bringing more prosperity into your life. So the best way to do that, obviously, is to work on inner wounds, because the more we heal from within, the more we attract like positivity around us. So I definitely feel like some of you may have karmic ties with poverty and wealth, always sort of getting the short end of the stick here. So I definitely feel like the more you focus on yourself, pile 1, not that this is a self-help reading, the more you're going to see that shift in prosperity changing. So and releasing control and resentment is also going to help. When I think about donuts, again, there is this very sweet, yummy energy about you as well. Let's talk about these croc plugs. I'm going to buy a pair of Crocs, I reckon. And the number 27. So a donut is hollow, right? It has a hollow part to it. So I feel like for those of you who have picked this pile, you may feel hollow, or there have been events that have taken place in your life that have left you feeling hollow, soulless even. And I'm sorry if that is very, very much resonating, because I know how that feels, and that is, it's not great. It's like your whole world gets turned upside down. When you look at yourself in the mirror, you can't actually see your soul. It's gone because of some kind of event that has taken place. Quite traumatic. Those events are normally mushrooms though, right? Mushrooms. Can I just add, so the number 27, I just have to Google it if you're wondering why there's a delay, represents, it's a very powerful and spiritual number. So I feel like this links to your telepathy, but it represents compassion, intuition, and introspection. So those things that have happened to you, pile one, has helped you be more compassionate, has helped you to tap into your intuition, into your intuitive gifts as well. And it's also helped you to have a very unique sense of introspection as opposed to the people around you. So you guys are probably people who you pick up, like your empaths, you pick up on things that nobody else can. Like if somebody's having a nervous breakdown or a mental breakdown, you can see it. It's clear as day for you, where everyone else around them, these people that could be in need of help, they can't see it. You can see that stuff. That's a very gifted talent, pile number one. And I honestly feel like these things that are coming through to help you connect these piles, this is definitely why people are very impressed with you, because they, after they spend time with you, they see what you can do. They see these gifts, these talents that you behold, and it all stems from these situations and life experiences that have left you feeling hollow. And it's one of those things, you got to take the good with the bad. And I'm a big believer and a big advocate. Like, yeah, life can be shit and it can knock you down, but you got to get back on the horse and you got to keep it moving. You got to keep soldiering on. And I feel like a lot of you resonate with that, or you need to hear that message today whenever you cross paths with this. It will be okay. It will always be okay. And I feel like with this rune coming out, because not all the time runes come out on when I pull from the bowl, I feel like it's just a big message to you. Keep working, keep doing what you're doing, because wealth is not far away. So if you are still in that state of poverty, prosperity is around the corner, like it is. So keep doing what you're doing and keep working on what yourself and working and helping others, if that is your calling and that is what you're doing. So then with the mushrooms, sorry, I never really know how these readings are going to go. I just feel like this intro for you guys needs to occur. And then we'll jump into the tarot. So, Look, mushrooms are often associated with spiritual growth, enlightenment, and a rebirth. The mushroom's life cycle, with its ability to emerge from darkness and decay, represents the cycle of nature, the death and transformation. So the cycle, so the nature of life, death, and transformation. I think that couldn't have been more fitting. I don't know if you need to go to pile 3, to be honest. I feel like, yeah, I just don't feel like you need to go to pile 3. Pile 3 is going to have a completely different energy because it's like magic mushrooms. This is talking about spiritual enhancement. Okay, so if this sounds like your pile, let's grab it. Let's find out why or how do you impress people. The devil. We're going to go 5. I'm going to get these, and I've got some other cards I want to pull as well. Yeah, look, there's the tower that we saw. Where do we got here? We'll pull these. So the judgment. Just let it go. Okay, so before we jump into it, let's just call out your sign placements, because I know you guys love that. So the overall energy, the Judgment card is linked with Scorpio. The Page of Cups is just the water element, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. The Tower is Aries and Scorpio. Page of Wands is fire element, so your Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. The Devil is Capricorn, and the Emperor is Aries. Aries and Mars, so Scorpio energy as well. So doesn't mean if your sign placements didn't come out that, you know, it's the end of the world, but yeah. So the overall energy in regards to why you impress people. Look, there is this strong emphasis with the judgment about an awakening, self-evaluation, a renewal of self. It's also about I feel like once a person, or why people are impressed by you, is because you have learnt from your mistakes. You have taken on feedback or maybe judgment, poor judgment of decisions in your life, and now you are transitioning or having this transformation of moving towards like a better future for yourself, is why I feel overall people are very impressed with you. And I feel like that really comes back to that initial energy coming through at the beginning of your reading, pile number 1. I think a lot of you have had a lot of self-doubt because of unfair lessons, really, is what I kind of pick up. And because of that, I feel like people are very impressed by you because now you're not afraid to... You're not afraid to have honest, clear communication now. You're not afraid to sit down and make adjustments to what you need to do in order to bring renewal into your life, is why I feel like a lot of people are very impressed by you. So you could have, overall, you could have arguments with people, like just small conflicted arguments as a result of unfair judgment, either to you or maybe you to them. And what people are really impressed by is those situations, you sort of go away, and there's that whole mushroom thing about the introspection. Like you go away and transform yourself from situations that have not served you, is what I feel is the main thing why people are impressed by you. You know, you could have been a person who was very indecisive, and now you're a very decisive person. You could have been a person that never forgave, and now you're all about forgiveness, composure. The way you handle yourself in situations that don't serve you is very different to how you handled yourself before as well. So people around you, they're very impressed by the changes you have made in how you handle your emotions, how you speak your mind or your truth. How you engage in things that don't serve you anymore. So are you running after things or people or lovers that are not showing up for you? Not anymore. And I feel like a lot of people who know you from your past are very impressed by how you're not doing that anymore. You're definitely in a state of choosing you over choosing others. And, you know, a lot of people are probably quite shocked by that, especially people who've used you and abused you over the course of your life. So let's move into this spread. So the Page of Cups, as to why people would be impressed with you. I would say there is this level of like innocence to you, like you haven't allowed things that have, you know, turned your world upside down, impact your innocence, impact your inner child. You're somebody who still taps into their creativity. You're still a dreamer in this world. Like you still have fantasies about a beautiful world, even though you could step into a very low vibrational energy of just darkness and being a pessimist, but you haven't. Page of Cups is very innocent energy. It's very optimistic energy. It's somebody who's also very okay with tapping into their emotional vulnerability as well. And again, I feel like people are very impressed by that because you're not afraid to show emotion here. Because the Page of Cups for me can be somebody who's kind of immature. Their emotions they can be emotionally immature. And I feel like that is not the message here today with this card. What the message is you're not afraid to show your emotions. Like a child. So like a child will show if they're upset or if they're happy, if they're angry. And people are very impressed that you will also do that. You won't hide, you won't fake it till you make it anymore is sort of the vibe. You're not faking it. So, you know, like you go to work, if you're not feeling well, you just don't talk. whereas the next day you might be feeling well and you want to talk to everyone. So that sort of vibe is what I'm picking up. People are very impressed by the fact that you are definitely putting you first, you looking after your own inner child. There's also something creative here that you are doing, because the Page of Wands is coming out as well. So Page of Cups and Page of Wands are both linked to creativity. So people are very impressed by something you are creating, so whatever that may be. But the fact that these two creative cards are sandwiching the Tower, again, this is reiterating the message for me, that the main message why people are very impressed by you, Pile One, is that you have taken the darkness and turned it into light. Like, that is very hard to do for a lot of people. And I think a lot of people are very impressed by this. People who have known you for a long time, I would say, people as they get to know you and learn your story, that's when they're like, wow, like Pile One, has gone to hell and back, yet they still do all this like fun, cool stuff. Like, you don't just sit on the lounge and mope about like a lot of people would if they had walked your path. So obviously with the Tower card here, again, it's just sort of telling me the way you handle breakup, separation, divorce. People are very impressed by that. Chaos can come at you like a catapult, right? Loads of destruction around you. You've experienced a lot of trauma, a lot of unexpected change, right? You've experienced loss. Some of you, it's death of friends and family. Some kind of tragedy, right? It could even be like natural disasters, but you still manage to get back up. You still manage to deal with any problems that come your way. You don't avoid anything. And you're people who don't avoid ending things out of fear as well. Like, you're kind of fearless here is what I feel with the Tower card wedged between these two pages. Like a kid is fearless, right? Kids will just sort of run into any situation not thinking. And it's not to say that you guys are doing that, but people are very impressed that you are fearless. Like, even though you've endured what you have, which would send most people into a state of fear. And it's not to say that you didn't get sent in a state of fear at some point, but you've worked on yourself, or you are currently working on yourself, and people can see this shift, this change, this transformation, that you're no longer fearing things that are like trying to ruin your day here, trying to destroy you. There's always going to be something trying to push you down. Not always, I shouldn't say that, but yeah. So that's sort of what I'm getting with the Tower. So yeah, I feel like with the Page, it's definitely telling me about this creative energy. You have fresh ideas. So people are very impressed by your creative problem solving skills. So you guys at work might work in an environment where things might go wrong, and you're very quick to come up with a solution. I also feel with the Page of Wands, some of you could be quite extroverted. It's funny, Page of Wands is also very much linked to being fearless as well. So I think there is this energy or this element to you guys. You don't hold back from life. I think you kind of say you're very adventurous. You're very probably adventurous in love as well. So you guys may have gone through a lot of trials and tribulations with romantic suitors, but you still haven't given up hope yet. You're like, that's all right. You take each experience as a lesson, something to learn. So I feel like you're still very open-minded. You aren't closed off to new activities, things that would entail you to discover something new. And I think a lot of people are very impressed by that. So I don't know if you live in an area where people have never traveled, or people don't really do a lot, where you are very different. Your story is very colorful, I would say, here with the Page of Wands. He is sitting here in like a yogi move as well. So some of you could do yoga. People could be impressed with the fact that you are very zen, very chilled out. The Devil card here, I think people might be, I feel like some of you with this pile, you could be very like naughty in a way. Like, So you may present yourself to be, you know, very sweet and cuddly, but I feel like the more people get to meet you, they understand you have quite this devilish banter, this devilish humor. It could be dark humor, some of you. If it's not that, then I would say they're just quite impressed that you are working with your shadow work. You know, you're not allowing your shadow work to maybe put you on a path of destructive behavior. The devil obviously talks about bad habits. You know, filling the void of unhappiness with, you know, sex, drugs, and rock and roll, being promiscuous, whatever. So I kind of feel like with the devil card here, for a lot of you, people are just very impressed by you either changing your habits, because we see that with the judgment as the overall energy, or the other way I connect with it is that you do have this devilish side, and people like the fact that there is a very balanced uniqueness about your personality. So you can be very professional and put together, but then you can be very unprofessional and inappropriate banter, like humor is sort of what I'm getting with the devil card. But yeah, I feel like there is this strong energy surrounding the devil. Those of you who have overcome addiction, obsessive behavior, anyone that has been cheated on or has cheated on, I feel like a lot of people are very impressed with you guys because you have overcome those obstacles. You've detached yourself from that. You've become more independent, seeking your freedom from things that no longer serve you. So that is why you are impressing people. I feel like for a lot of you who do really resonate with that message, a lot of people have become very impressed by you, or inspired, I would say, because they've seen you walk away from things that don't serve your highest good, and how you've put your life back on track. So maybe you were an addict to like cigarettes, you quit smoking, so now like you can travel around the world and not be one of those people who need to find a smoking room. Or like drugs, the same. You know, a lot of drug takers won't travel, especially bong smokers. They won't travel because they need a bong. Like they're so restricted to a substance that it restricts them from living and from life. So some of you have had that kind of restriction, you've released that, and people are very impressed by this. Now the Emperor is, you know, real big energy in the sense of having your shit together. So I would have to say a lot of people are very impressed now off the back end of that devil card energy, is how stable you are, how dependable you are. Like people can depend on you now. You are far more reliable than you ever have been. And people are very impressed by that. You know, you have a lot more structure in your life. You're very logical. You're definitely probably working more in your masculine energy. And I feel like that comes back down to that creative projects that you guys are working on. When we are working towards our future and a better now and a better later, I feel like we do work more in our masculine energy because it's action orientated. Whereas feminine energy, we sit back, we lean back, and we wait. So I feel like with the Emperor showing up here, a lot of you are definitely chasing goals, chasing dreams here in a very practical, logical manner. Is kind of the vibe there I'm picking up with the Emperor, which is cool. All right, well, I'm going to leave it there because that is a long read, but I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. So those of you who chose the Captain America crock plug, I'm actually just going to make sure that, yes, Captain America and Shield. I feel like, you know, when we think about the shield, I'd say it's all about the shield here. So a lot of you could resonate with Captain America, or you could be all from America who have picked this pile, and that is why, because you obviously Captain America. But I feel like the meaning here of this crock plug is about the shield. So when I think about a shield, it's to protect us against blows, right? Or missiles. So theoretically, right? People can fire missiles at each other through the use of words. They can also throw objects. But I feel like for a lot of you, people are very impressed with how you protect yourself against maybe reputable blows. So when people come for you, you deal with those situations in a very diplomatic and very professional way. So you know how to, I guess, hold your own. And I feel like shield yourself and protect your brand, because we all have a personal brand. And I think a lot of you, when I think about Captain America and when I think about Americans and how patriotic that they are, they're very protective of what they represent. You know, whereas like I would say Aussies, like we're not, I don't know if I'm going to get like shone here, but we're not like, we are patriotic, but we're also a very lazy culture as well. Like, whereas I feel like Americans really get into it. Like you see that with the gridiron and like the sports and stuff. Like, it's not to say that we don't have that with NFL and NAL or whatever it is. Hopefully you're picking up what I'm putting down. I am not a massive sport person. I do like the FIFA World Cup. That's about it. But yeah, I just feel like the shield here, it's all about creating a barrier and covering yourself from things that don't serve you. But I feel like it's not so much that. I don't know if a lot of you are sort of going through some sort of journey at the moment where people are like maybe trying to put you down, firing shots at you on the reg. And so what people are very impressed by is how you're handling those situations, how you're handling that feedback. So that is sort of what I'm picking up from the shield. God. So we have a combi. Wow, we have a letter that went over there. We have a faded strawberry. Some of you might have some off strawberries in your fridge. You might have left them in your car. So some of you could be 32. So we have a 732. Somebody could live at apartment 732A. And then I will crawl on the ground and find this other little thing. So we have an M or a W. So I guess with the combi vehicle, so the combi is a vehicle able to carry both cargo and passengers. So I just feel like it's like people are very impressed by the fact that how you handle situations in two different ways. Okay, because you can imagine like when we're transporting passengers, it's very different to how we transport cargo, right? Cargo gets thrown around. We don't just like throw passengers around. So I kind of feel like people are very impressed but to how you shield yourself. It's in two different distinct ways. Or it could be just an energy check in here and that you do. So some of you could come across as like, oh, no, I think all of you who picked this pile. Oh, big stretch. Oh. So what I feel is like people are very impressed by like how you can be extremely ruthless with your words, and then you can also be very delicate. Okay, so 1 minute people can see there is this like a bit like that whole vibe, like I'm all zen and love and whatever, but I'm also a little bit go like fuck yourself. So a bit like that energy. So with the combi, cargo and passengers, so a lot of you there are two sides to you. Okay, there's one side where like your patience is very thin and like depending how people throw missiles at you or whatever blows towards you, you will handle those people depending, I don't know if it's depending on the mood that you're in, but you will either handle them like cargo and just like be very ruthless and not care of how your words will offend them, or you take a much more like empathetic approach. So I actually feel like when people are firing shots at you, you hit them like cargo, like you treat them like cargo. And when people are throwing maybe compliments at you, you treat them like passengers. Like you really show your appreciation, your gratitude here is probably the best way to put it. So people are very impressed by the fact that, you know, I feel like it's like you stand true within like giving back to when people give to you. So whatever people give to you, you return in the same energy, like you match their energy. And why this is probably coming up, pile two, and you're probably thinking, this is kind of boring. It's not, because a lot of people will not speak their mind. A lot of people will just stand there and say nothing. You don't do that because you've learned how to shield yourself. So like you have a shield, your shield is your words, your intelligence, your logic. And that is why I feel like a lot of people are very impressed by you. Now with the strawberry, I don't know, you could be just really big on lip gloss or like strawberry, like pajama print. You might have a big, strong like connection with strawberry itself. But it is, its symbolic meaning is about purity, sensuality, fertility, abundance, humility, and modesty. So I guess that sort of ties a little bit into that cargo and passengers energy. I feel like a lot of you smell really good as well, like the fragrances you choose to use. A lot of people are very attracted to your scent as well here. All right, so let's jump into why you impress people. I'm going to take it. And I'll call out some sign placements with these cards. 8 of Wands. So those are that communication. Your level of communication, your communication style, how fast you are to react and respond to communication coming towards you. Why are people impressed by you? 6 of Wands, King of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles, Knight of Cups, 9 of Cups. You may have a lot of, based off these cards, you may have a lot of like envy around you because you have 6 of Wands coming out, which tells me a lot of people are impressed by something you are doing that's getting you a lot of traction, a lot of fame. You're getting recognition from something you are doing, and a lot of people are very impressed by that, and it's something you are constantly talking about. We do have the King of Cups there. Some of you, it could be the fact that you're in a newfound healthy relationship. People might be impressed by that. But yeah, like the overall energy here for 8 of Wands in regards to why people are impressed by you. I just feel like 8 of Wands can be linked to sudden changes. And I feel like it's coming back down to that sudden change in your behavior, in your communication, how you can quickly adapt to your environments, or like, that's not probably the right word. It's more like you move at a speed that is quite like attractive, very entertaining for people. I feel like you live a life of excitement and people are very impressed by that. So I don't know, whatever you're talking about is leading people to feeling very excited. They're impressed with you because of the excitement you're either living or the excitement that they're feeling from whatever they're listening to. So let me know down in the comments what you're actually doing here, because I'm kind of confused what's actually happening. But I kind of feel like Eight of Wands overall energy, it's a card that talks about, a lot of surprises in stores as somebody advancing in relationships. So people could be really impressed with you right now because you're advancing in something. And we see that with the Six of Wands and the King of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles, the Knight of Cups, and the Nine of Cups. So something is moving very fast. There's rapid change happening in something you are working on. It's something you are talking about. It's something how you are reacting and responding to it. People are genuinely impressed by something you are doing because it's bringing you financial abundance. It's bringing you fame in some way, shape, or form. It's also bringing you a lot of love interest here. I can't help to think that there aren't romantic suitors around you. So people could be very impressed by the fact that you are very picky with your love options as well here. But yeah, I feel like the overall vibe I'm picking up for this pile is people are very impressed by something you are doing that is creating a lot of prosperity, a lot of abundance, a lot of wealth. So whether or not that is the job that you're in, whether that is you've got some creative outlet you're doing, whether or not it is you are pursuing the love of your life, either way, I feel like with these cards here, people are very impressed by what's actually happening in your life at this point in time. You might be doing a lot of different things as well. So people could be impressed by like how many sort of projects you have at this time. Like you are trying to pursue, a long-term relationship and a career, and maybe you got a baby and you got a side hustle. Like you could be really busy people. Either way, I definitely feel like there is something you are doing that's getting you a lot of attention here, and it's making a lot of people feel very impressed by you. The Six of Wands is a card that talks about self-confidence as well. So it could be the fact that people are very impressed by the level of self confidence you now portray or obtain, and they see that through the way you are interacting in your communication style with people. So it could be the fact that you had low confidence before, now you have high confidence, so you shield yourself from toxic energy, so you're not afraid anymore to tell people to go like fuck themselves when they're coming for you. Whereas before, if you were in a low self-esteem, you're less inclined to shield yourself. You're more inclined to just stand there and cop it. So I feel like a lot of people are very impressed with this pile, that you have grown and shown that you will shield yourself and protect your energy now. You don't just like out there giving it to everyone. Every Tom, Dick and Harry has got your energy, is sort of the vibe I'm picking up there with the Six of Wands. For some of you, the Six of Wands just in general is the fact that you are some of you are in a relationship here or pursuing a relationship. And with that, people are impressed by you maybe putting in the work to move a relationship to the next level. Maybe you guys have been very single or you're not interested, or maybe the fact that you've finally done whatever you needed to do to go, okay, I'm ready for love, and inviting love. People could be impressed by that. King of Pentacles definitely tells me people are very impressed by your success. And, that's reiterating the success energy of the Six of Wands. But Ten of Pentacles is also about success. So there is a lot of you who have picked this pile who are highly successful. And you might not think you are successful, but these people do think you are successful. King of Wands definitely tells me like there is this level of abundance surrounding you, okay? But I feel like the important message here with the King of Pentacles is reiterating the fact that people are very impressed by your level of protectiveness you have for yourself and those around you, your family here with the Ten of Pentacles. You have this security blanket is what I feel. It's a financial security blanket. So I don't know if you've made some positive investments. People are very impressed by the level of wealth you have obtained for yourself. So you could be deemed quite rich compared to the people around you. So it might even be the fact that you don't have like kids and stuff. So obviously kids can hinder our savings. So it could be the fact of like something like that. I definitely feel like people are very impressed by the discipline you have to get where you are today. So you have probably had to work extremely hard to, well, King of Pentacles, unless money is being handed to you on a golden platter. King of Pentacles people tend to get where they are because they're very patient. They're very patient people when it comes to their career goals, and they're very fixated on their career goals as well. A lot of earth energy. Speaking of earth energy, I didn't call out your sign, so I'll do that before I wrap up your reading. But yeah, I feel like you're very generous and you're a good provider as well. So people are very impressed by the fact that you could be very much single here and you could have a lot of romantic interests, like trying to serve you up a fish here. I'm not into fish. I like to... If you want to fall in love with me, you don't hand me a fish. Maybe you guys resonate with that. So again, I feel like for a lot of you, people are very impressed by the fact that you've like got everything, all your ducks are in a row. Probably the only thing that you don't have right now is, the love of your life for some of you. So people are very impressed by the fact that you are happy to wait for that 10th cup and continue, fulfilling your own cups through whatever you are working on that is bringing you a lot of success here. And I feel like a lot of people are impressed by the fact that you educate other people to also focus on financial stability, to focus on business ventures and, hard work as opposed to maybe relationships as well here. But yeah, the Ten of Pentacles definitely tells me... people are definitely impressed by some kind of legacy you are leaving behind, some kind of foundation you've been working on. I would have to say a lot of you who picked this pile must have some kind of business or some kind of platform, tarot channel, like that sort of vibe here. Because tarot channel is all about communication, sharing experiences and stories and whatever, reading cards, providing guidance. So I feel like you're very successful at whatever you're doing in that regard. Knight of Cups. I don't know. I feel like people are quite to be honest, I feel like people are quite impressed with the fact that, I don't know, I feel like you reject people with this Knight of Cups. I don't know. I don't know. You just don't allow anyone into your circle, especially like your friendship circle is what I feel. Like it takes a while to break down the walls with you. I think people are quite impressed with... I don't know why I'm getting this message, because the Knight of Cups and the Nine of Cups do not correlate with this, but I feel like the main message here is people are impressed by the fact that you don't just accept any kind of people in your life, especially romantic suitors, because you're like, I have my 9 cups, mate. You're going to be like the 10th cup. So if you ain't coming with a big old 10th cup, I don't want it. That is sort of the vibe I'm picking up here. And people are very impressed by that. They find that very charming, pile number 2. They find it very... they might even find it very flirtatious that you reject people, because these people may be like a King of Pentacles, may be like a King of Cups. So they feel like they are a match for you. But I have this vision here of you shaking your head going, no, that's not for me. No thanks, no thanks, no thanks. That's all I'm... You may be deemed by... People are very impressed by your high expectations, your high standards. Like, you know what you want, you know what you deserve. Like, your level of self-love and self-worth is quite high. And I feel like a lot of people can learn from that. So you guys may be... some of you could be in a relationship, a very stable one. And for others of you, you have a very... you would rather be single and alone then be with somebody who's not bringing that 10th cup the way that you want that 10th cup brought to you, is sort of the vibe I'm getting. You probably read energy really well. Like, you can just sort of see it's like, what I'm seeing is somebody who quite psychic. You can look at, say if you're on a dating app, you can look at somebody's photo and know exactly how that relationship or that date would unfold. So you just swipe left. And like, most of the time you don't even need to think about it. You look at them and you can literally swipe left. And I feel like you're really good at that. Whereas other people who aren't tapped in to their intuition, like, you know, completely, you know, they might see somebody and not see that outcome. So they will embark on a journey that could be just very toxic and draining, even though that their intuition is trying to tell them, big old red flag. You guys don't do that. People are very impressed by the fact that you don't waste time on you know, toxic people, toxic situations. Here is sort of the vibe I'm picking up. All right, so I am going to end it there, but before I do, I'll just call out a couple of the sign placements that are here with these cards. So the Eight of Wands is Mercury in Sag, so Mercury is linked with Gemini and Virgo as well. Six of Wands is Leo energy, and also Jupiter energy, which is Sagittarius and Pisces. Your King of Pentacles is linked with Leo and Virgo, and your Knight of Cups is linked with Libra and Scorpio, and your Nine of Cups is linked with Pisces and Jupiter in Pisces. So hopefully that resonated. If it didn't, don't stress. But yeah, sending much love and light. Bye. Pile number 3, my magic mushroom guru. So connecting with this energy, you either take magic mushrooms. Nah. Maybe you want to explore magic mushrooms, but either way, you're a very colorful person. You see things, you hear things that nobody else can see. People are definitely impressed by the things that you can see that nobody else can see. You may hear things, so not schizophrenia, but you could be clairaudient. You could be clairvoyant, one of the clairs. Either way, a lot of psychic energy is what I'm picking up. Some of you big on astral traveling. In the dream state, you can travel to other dimensions and like have you may have a whole other life or other lives in many other dimensions. You may not be fully aware of this yet, but that is sort of the vibe I'm picking up with the mushrooms. Now, magic mushrooms, you know, if you take enough, you can hallucinate. You can see things that you wouldn't normally see. So I feel like for a lot of you, people are very impressed by the things that you can see and hear. So I don't know if it's because you are psychic. If you're not psychic, you can pick up on things that other people can't pick up on. So I feel like overall, like the energy here, people are very impressed by like your unique ability to, I don't know, fortune tell or like predict things. You could be really good at predicting things that are going to unfold, and other people would be like, no way. And then you're like, yeah, way. And they happen. So people could be very impressed by your abilities, psychic abilities. So, if you missed the intro, I went and brought more charms, but they're crock plug things. I don't know what that is, but it is some kind of like marsupial. Maybe not marsupial, but yeah, I think most of those things that look like that would be marsupial. We have a rabbit. We also have a love heart, which looks quite nurse. So we might have paramedics in this pile. We may have nurses. We have people who are currently in hospital, seeing somebody in hospital. We have Wen. We have WEN number 1. 0 or O. And we also have Z. We have a butterfly. And we also have this ruin. Which... new beginnings. So the Bacana ruin, probably pronouncing it wrong, represents the way of the mother, the healer, and the midwife. It brings new life after death, just as the birch tree forms the first leaves after winter. The nurturing and life-giving qualities are firmly associated with Bacana, but so are the end of life and death. So strong Scorpio energy here is what I'm feeling, and obviously the death card here. The Fool, I'm also picking up, so Aquarius energy. It's heavily linked with esoteric gifts at birth. So I feel like a lot of you have been gifted at birth. So and it's funny because pile 1 actually received a mushroom as well, and I wasn't sure how the link was going to happen. Now I get it. So if you feel called to go and check out pile 1 are people who have obtained their spiritual gifts, their intuition through trauma, through tragedy, through loss. You guys have received your gifts from the moment you entered, went into the womb, or came out of the womb, I should say, the vagina. So there is the link there, because I eventually connected with the message pile 1 wasn't not to go to pile 3. But if you feel like you feel like you have gone through a lot of trials and tribulations, then there could be messages for you in pile 1. I'm not really a reader who guides my audience to go to other piles, because I want you to live a normal life instead of watching YouTube all day. But what I feel like with this pile and based off this ruin is that you guys were born with your spiritual gifts, as opposed to your spiritual gifts being activated through trauma and tragedy is sort of what I'm picking up here. I feel like a lot of you are very good nurturers as well. Queen of Cups is coming through. I think you have very good, healthy boundaries, good ratio of happy to help everyone, but I'm going to make sure I help myself, and I feel like you've probably always been like that. Some of you could be midwives, some of you could be mothers, or you're healers. So you're already taken on the plate, the role, okay, of being a mother. So whether or not it's mothering children or animals, I definitely feel like for this pile, you are the healers of the 3 piles. You were here, brought to this world, to this realm, to nurture people, I feel, to give life meaning as well, especially after things that don't serve people. Brings new life after death. So I feel like a lot of you, if you need guidance in regards to a career path, you could go down the path of counseling. Not that kind of information came out with the other piles, but maybe some of you needed to hear that. Maybe it could be the fact that people are very impressed by the kind of counseling you give them. So thinking back to the magic mushroom, you see things and hear things that people don't, other people don't. So I would have to say you guys have the gift of being able to provide sound advice or counseling to people without you even knowing their story. And you might not even realize you are a vessel in this realm for other spirits to maybe send messages to their loved ones who are still in this body, in the 3D. You know, I really look forward to dying and figuring out what the fuck this is. I'm sure if I sat there and meditated enough, I would, but I got things to do. I'm here for a human experience, that I do know. So let's find out why people are impressed by pile 3. We have the Lovers. Yeah, I definitely feel you have a very loving energy, and I feel very warm and fuzzy and very sweet and loved right now. So that would all be stemming from your energy here. So we have the Fool. This is why I like to shuffle on camera. So the Fool is very much linking to this ruin. So we have the Ace of Wands with the 4 of Swords. There's that self-care. We have the Hierophant. We have the Lovers. Sorry, the 3 of Wands and the Lovers. So just a quick shout out on the astro placements here. So obviously Aquarius energy with the Fool. Aces, Ace of Wands is linked with Aries, Leo, and Sag. Your 4 of Swords is linked with Libra, but Saturn in Libra, so Saturn is correlated with Capricorn. The Hierophant is Taurus energy, but Venus in Taurus, so you can also consider Libra. 3 of Wands is Venus, not Venus, is it Sun in Aries, so Leo. And then the Lovers card is obviously Gemini energy, but Mercury in Gemini. Okay. So look, I definitely feel like with the Fool being the overall energy as to why people are impressed by you right now is I feel like your sense of adventure, the free-spirited nature, you guys are very big on spontaneity. I think you're really good at saying yes to things. I think you're really good at saying no to things that are reckless as well. So you're definitely really good at just seeing things without actually having to experience them. So there is this strong clairvoyant energy. I'm seeing, what do you call them? Like visions. You guys see lots of visions, I feel. And you may not even be aware yet that you're seeing visions. You may just know not to do something without seeing the vision itself. So that would make you clairaudient, or it would just make you very tapped into your intuition. I feel like for a lot of you, people are very impressed by how much you trust your intuition. You trust the choices you make. And I think they see this with all the new beginnings you have and experience. You know, the Fool is somebody who is very outgoing, very creative, very interesting, very quirky. So I feel like a lot of people are very interested by that. You know, Saturn is here in this, in the Fool card here. So I definitely feel like you guys, and when I think about the Fool, it's very high positive energy. People are very impressed by the good karma that you have received. Maybe they are very impressed by the good karma you receive after people, you know, being reckless towards you. Hello. So that is sort of what I'm picking up here. You get me in trouble. People blow up. Yeah, so that is sort of the vibe I've got with the Fool. Now, the Ace of Wands makes me lol a little bit because of the way I connect with it. But I feel like people very much are impressed by it, the pleasure and, you know, the love that you give them. Okay, so this is a bit sexual, this message. I feel like people are very impressed with you, what you can do in the bedroom here, the level of passion you bring, the energy, the enthusiasm that you can bring. You're very confident when you are naked. You're very confident in bed. You're very confident with what you are doing in romantic situations. This turns a lot of people on. I feel like a lot of people are very impressed by how attractive you are as well, right? Like you have maybe a unique sense of flirting style as well here. People are very impressed with how you maybe tackle love situations or your love life. You know, if you are a man, people are very impressed with how endowed you are with your rod here. Um, So then the Four of Swords, I'm going to keep it moving because I'm trying to keep it PG, as I swear. But Four of Swords for me would tell me, you know, although you can be like the life of the party here with the Ace of Wands, the Four of Swords is very opposite energy here in the sense that it's a card that talks about somebody being very content with alone time, spending a lot of time focusing on self-care, resting, recuperation to rejuvenate themselves. So people are very impressed by the level of self-care that you have for yourself. They're also very impressed by the fact that you are more than happy to be alone and sit in a state of solitude and not be around people, because there are some people who can't go to the shops on their own. There are some people who can't go anywhere on their own. You can do all of those things. So people are very impressed by your level of independence here is what I feel with the Four of Swords. The Hierophant, I feel like whatever you do at work, whatever organization you work, people are very impressed by your job. You know, and when I connect with the imagery here, they're also very impressed by your connection you have with Mother Nature. I always see trees as a strong affiliation with the universe. You know, trees have a very powerful energy. You know, so I feel like a lot of people are very impressed by the power you portray within, how nurturing again you are. You know, the universe or Mother Nature is very nurturing and very giving. So I definitely feel like that with this Hierophant card, but there is something you do for work. People are very impressed. It's very unique. It's very different. I feel like with the Three of Wands, it's a card that can talk about foresight, right? And momentum, so, and growth. And somebody's always looking ahead as well. So I feel like this is sort of reiterating the fact that the clairvoyant, like you can see the future, like you're happy to sit and be patient because you know if you wait, it will come. Like you don't chase things, things chase you. And I feel like a lot of people are very impressed by that growth you've had. So maybe you weren't like that before, or like maybe you've always been like that. I feel like for a lot of you, you've always been like that. So a lot of people who have always been the chaser have learned from you guys, Pile 3, to sit back and wait and be more in your feminine energy than be in your masculine. So you have people, you attract things you don't chase, if that makes sense. So I feel like a lot of people are impressed by your ability to help others grow. You have like this sense of leadership in how to live life. And I'm not trying to blow smoke up your ass, but I feel like for a lot of you, very grounded. And people who hang out with trees are very grounded people, you know, in nature. I feel like a lot of people are very impressed with how you handle obstacles and delays. Like when people try and restrict you or life tries to restrict you, you know how to sort of stand in the moment and figure out your next steps, like in a very like mature, stable way. Hi. So pile 3, you're lucky. For those who love the cats, you got 2 cats for this reading. I don't think the other pile's got any cats. I know some of you see the signs as the cats. No. And then we have the Lovers card. I've kind of moved really quickly through your reading, so maybe you just already know that you are fabulous, like this cat. This cat knows she's fabulous, don't you? Yes. It's so cute. The Lovers. So why would people be impressed by you? Perfect. Why would people be perfect for you? I feel like people are impressed by you because they think you would be perfect for them. I think a lot of you, if you are single, a lot of people see you as somebody who they could have a very perfect union with. I definitely feel like a lot of people around you are impressed by you. You could be quite different and very unique. We see that with the magic mushroom. But when people get to know you, they're quite impressed by the fact that you actually have shared value. So even though you are very different, you stand out like maybe a sore thumb here amongst the people in your circle, in your life. But I feel like people are very impressed by the fact that they learn that you are a kindred spirit, like you're somebody who is always focusing on the truth, somebody who's trying to eliminate disharmony out of their own life, but out of everyone else's around you. You're a very loving and supportive person. You're very spiritual as well, is what I feel with the Lovers card here. I feel like a lot of people are very impressed by your ability to detach yourself from toxic lovers as well, third party situations. You could be a person who has experienced a lot of third party situations, and people are very impressed by the fact that it has not hindered your ability to love and trust as well. If you're not there yet, I feel like people just assume this about you. But yeah, I definitely feel like a lot of people are impressed by maybe all the choices you do have in love. I think a lot of you could be really well sought after here if you are single, and people are very impressed by the fact that kind of coming back to that Four of Swords again, like you're more focused on you at the moment. You know when to be in a relationship and when not to be in a relationship. So I feel like for some of you, if you are healing from a breakup, people are impressed by the fact that although there are other suitors around you, you don't go and jump into another relationship until you've healed and rejuvenated from something that hasn't maybe worked out for you. So people are very impressed by your maturity and how you put your emotional well-being first before anything else. So you may even put it before work. So thinking about the Hierophant, it's somebody who's very organized in the workplace, but this Hierophant, she's out in nature. So I kind of feel like if you're sick, you don't go to work. Most people might go to work if they've got the flu, where you would rather recuperate and rest and go spend time in nature and get your body back, as opposed to going to work and I don't know, like wearing yourself down. So people are quite impressed, I feel, overall, that you're a person who looks after themselves quite well, is what I'm picking up. So I'm going to leave it there, guys. I hope you enjoyed that reading. I'll see you next time. Bye.